Opera SM here, testing out a modified BlinkRay deck. So it's got Charming Prince and Yorion to do some flickering back and forth with Kalemne's first ability, which will give that creature haste to swing, but we also have Terror of the Peaks in here. For when another creature enters the battlefield under your control, deal X damage to any opposing target. X is its base power. Reduces consistency of finding the Yorion Prince a little bit, but it does speed up the deck in terms of iterations required to win by throwing some damage at the opponent's face. So the order that we want to cast this stuff in is Terror of the Peaks first, then Yorion, which will blink Terror, and it will get a trigger off of Terror for Yorion, and then we'll play Charming Prince. Charming Prince will come in, and then we will target Yorion to bounce all of our creatures back, and then Terror would come in first, and then Yorion. So we're going to keep getting lots of triggers off it. So let's see it in action here. I can take this black match into a white match here, and then we'll have enough action. So, ooh, nice cascades. All right. So, guys there, I'd given that guy first strike already. It won't matter because it will go away. But we do get our Terror trigger. Go ahead and throw it at the opponent. It's 5 because it's its base power. Unfortunately, it's not its modified power. Now we'll go ahead and blink Yorion. Terror triggers for 4. Yorion comes onto the battlefield. It will want to flicker all this stuff, and then we will get our Terror trigger shortly after for the 5. So let's see, this one should be for 5, no, for 4, now for 5, yeah, so there we go. So now once we've got things going, we'll get 9 damage each time off of the Terror. And then we get an additional 2 power on Yorion casting since it's cost 14 or higher, so that'll be 9 plus 2 is 11. So actually each iteration of the loop we're effectively getting 11 more damage towards our opponent's face, either through attacking or through finishing. So let's go ahead, and I'm just going to actually finish recording and play this all out because I can look at the timestamps when I actually started doing the looping and see how long this takes. Just a plain Yorion loop with just the 2 creatures, no mace of the Valiant, which is something Madron and others liked and played around with a bit in the past. Was 7 minutes and change, I think, to loop to finish. So we'll see how this compares to that time-wise. Does require some more clicks, but this loop is click intensive anyway. So it's nice though that we're getting 11 damage output though for each set of clicks we do, as opposed to only 2 if it's just Yorion and Prince. And it will be Yorion once we eventually stop it. That is the creature that gets to attack. So we will need to get his power up high enough to hit the opponent. I don't remember what Nissa's starting life total is, but we may go slightly over because I think we go to aim for 120 power was the baseline that I used for other versions of this deck to figure out how long it took to kill it. So we may go 1 or 2 more iterations over what we had done to get lethal here. Something tells me that Nissa 4's starting life total is in the hundreds somewhere. Not 100% certain about that, but seems reasonable. So don't want to stop the loop. Well, that was our first loop trigger. So I think, if I'm not mistaken. So it's nice if we can do this most of the time just within 1 loop trigger to finish this loop. That would be pretty sweet. So now we'll just go ahead and finish off the opponent. We will choose not to blink when we're ready to attack. We might have a couple more terror triggers to finish off. Yeah, and it would have just been one more iteration and then we don't even have to attack, which is nice. So let's go ahead and swing now for the opponent, and we got him. So that's the modified BlinkRay loop with Terror of the Peaks. Let's go see how long that was. Hope this is helpful, Matthew, to see the iteration of this in action.